Welcome to the weekly dose of Emuna for Shabbat Kodesh. How many of us are able to actually achieve this searing emotion that we've been speaking out the past Shabbat audios? How do we achieve this searing emotion on Shabbat afternoon that exists in potential? But how many can really reach it? So today's Shabbat audio, we're going to talk about how to experience true Oneg Shabbat, the joy and delight of Shabbat. How do we feel transported through our tefillah? How do we feel that intimate presence of Hashem's love? And how do we bridge that love to such a passion that we feel a sort of lacking in our spiritual fulfillment if we don't actually feel that way? In other words, it should bother us so much to that point that we feel that it's consuming us, it's difficult for us. Or do we just live life so insensitive to the idea of the fact that we don't feel Hashem's love for us, and certainly, unfortunately, we don't feel our love towards Hashem. So how do we get ourselves to get ignited? How do we delight in Shabbat and be happy with the joy of connecting to Hashem, that it should really reverberate every essence of our being? So Rabbi Luria actually brings down a really beautiful teaching that in order to feel that additional soul on Shabbat, we have to transform our body into that sanctuary for the divine presence to reside. And the way that we do that during the week is we observe the Torah and mitzvot and the commandments, and that's how we bring down this special ha'ara, this special radiance through the Torah and mitzvot that enable us to be able to feel Hashem's presence. But on Shabbat, there's this special radiance. There's something special that comes down to us, and we're able to really feel that in a more intense and accessible manner. In essence, the main preparation for us to be able to experience Shabbat, the delight of Shabbat, it comes through the yearning that we actually build up for ourselves the entire week. In other words, the more intense our daily prayers are, the more we have a consciousness of that we're preparing our whole week for that pinnacle moment called Shabbat Kodesh. The more that we have this longing to be awakened through our tefillot, to feel that closeness of Hashem, the more we will essentially be able to experience what's called Oneg Shabbat. Now, of course, it's easier for us to prepare ourselves physically on Shabbat and be able to grow through those physical preparations. But the idea is not just through physical deeds should we acquire this sense of yearning for Shabbat and a closeness to Hashem, but actually David HaMelech writes, the fear of Hashem is pure and it endures forever. So in other words, our emotions come up and down. We live a roller coaster ride with our emotions. But there's what's called Yirat Hashem, the sense of having this awesome feeling and attachment to Hashem that endures forever. So if we really want to see ourselves having a true love for Hashem, it should be injected and weaved with a sense of awe of Hashem. We should have a sense of exploring and experiencing Hashem's greatness. And that is one of the things that will enable us to be able to better prepare for Shabbat and have a sense of awe of Hashem's presence, because He is the guest of honor at our Shabbat table. And that will essentially, as we work that feeling up throughout the week, we will, Be'ezrat Hashem, be able to penetrate all those layers of concealment until we actually reach this intimate sense of communion with Hashem on Shabbat Kodesh.